Hi, and welcome back to my channel. This has been a good week. This week I've been out speaking at a book club, and one of the questions I'm often asked is, how do I think up my stories? One of the ways I do think up my stories is to think of scenes. That just happens automatically. I see a scene playing out in my head, and before I've even put a word on paper, I've got the first chapter. almost. I see it happening. I see how it starts. I see where the crime is and where it takes place. And then I start to write it down. And I've always been like that. Maybe it's because I'm an artist. I'm very visual. And one of the things that I used to do is I used to write small scripts for the church I belong to, little plays to do with subjects such as addiction, bereavement, suicide, and lots of fun things as well. And I would see the play playing out in my head, and then I would go and write it down. And that's exactly what I do with my writing. I have no idea how that happens. It's just the way I am. It's how it happens with me. Maybe you yourself will be the same. Maybe that's how it happens for you as well. But of course, the other way to get the most out of your writing is to go to the place where it is taking place, if it's nearby. For me, I'm writing around the area I live in Kent. I live in Pembury, near Tunbridge Wells. And there's lots of little villages and towns around. And so my novels are taking place around this area. And I've just started my third novel. My second novel, actually, Murder at Markham Hall, has just finished and has been edited. But my third novel, Murder on the Rocks, takes place at an iconic location known as High Rocks in Tunbridge Wells. This is a rock outcrop, if that's the right term, which was formed after the Ice Age. Well, the rocks have been there for millions of years. It was covered with a sheet of ice during the last Ice Age, and the rocks then formed or grew taller, whatever. They're made of sandstone, and they're quite iconic. People have been visiting this place nearby Tunbridge Wells for hundreds of years. And if you go there, as I did a few weeks ago, not expecting at all that this would be a location for my third novel, I was amazed at how atmospheric it was. I could really feel the vibe, and eerie at the same time. Beautiful, but eerie. Something sinister. And that was before I knew what I know about it now. There is a tree there actually called the Devil's Oak. And there's lots of little locations around the area which have quite interesting names, like Fairy Glen and others like that. And when I was there, I began to sense that this really would be a great place to start my third novel, Murder on the Rocks, and that's exactly what I've done. So if you're thinking of writing or thinking of starting a novel, you might want to be inspired by going to the actual place where you think it might take place. Or maybe it might be you randomly visited somewhere and felt something. Feeling is really good, and it's a really good place to start because it's almost in your blood, you know what I mean? When I finished my second novel, Murder at Markham Hall, I finished it in one of the favourite places that I visit, and that's Cornwall. The house is right on the beach. It's right at the Atlantic Ocean, and the big skies, big sandy beach, incredible location. It's a surfer's beach, and you really feel it when you're there. And so I finished my second novel there. So yeah, I need to feel my feet on the soil. Do you know what I mean? I need to feel it to write it. And that's how I work. And I would encourage you, if you are writing, to get to those places and get a sense of them, because it really does help make your book a success. Okay, thanks for listening. See you later. I should have said, I apologise for the ticking. My iPad is leaning on a very, very old clock, which has a very loud tick. I quite like the sound of it. So I hope you don't mind. Okay, thanks again. Bye.